Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and creatures and gentlemen, this is Mitchell Ruland, and this is the podcast show, The Average Joe, coming from Birmingham, Alabama. Check us out. We're not all like crazy rednecks down here. Maybe we are. Maybe I am. This is the Wrestling Diaries. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, and a plethora of other hosts that have podcasts on them. Also, check out the video content on YouTube. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more content. Support us, help us, tell people about us. I have a lot of people messaging about wanting to be on the show. Like, if you, it doesn't matter what you do. I mean, you could work, like, I don't know, fixing cars, or you could be like, I don't know, a politician, and I'll have you on the show. It doesn't matter, right? That's what's the podcast show for the average Joe. Anyways, I have some returning guests here. Miss Ashley and Drew Yocum. They were on episode 20 of the Wrestling Diaries last year, and the whole family was on. They were just missing Arian, their daughter, who couldn't be here. And they're gonna update us on their lives. And Ashley's doing this competition, and we're gonna get right into it. What's up, folks?
What's up?
How you doing?
What's up?
Good to be back.
It's always good to see you.
Yeah, same, likewise. So you guys, the last episode that you were on, episode 20, as I was saying before, you guys were talking about all the different things going on. We shared the really sweet story about how Drew adopted Arian as his official daughter. Although obviously, I'm sure you felt like she was your daughter for a long time prior to that.
Really?
And we shared that really sweet, inspiring video, and then you guys talked about like the different things that is going on in your lives. Ashley, you actually are competing in fitness and bodybuilding stuff. So tell everybody listening out there what that entails and what's going on with that. What are you doing right
that's
now?
something that I was pushed to do a long time ago. Wish I would have started earlier. But I struggle with anxiety, and I also struggle with pain, chronic pain. I have fibromyalgia. I have a neck fusion and 2 slip discs in my back. So it's really hard.
Can I ask, is that
Yes.
from working out, the slip disc and the fusions, or
No, it's kind of like some of it has a lot to do with me having the fusion in the first place. It's almost like, I don't know, like I guess I don't even know how to explain it. Like, how would it, because it's kind of like as soon as I had my neck fusion, it's like everything went south. It was supposed to be that I had this neck fusion and I was not going to have any back pain, any neck pain. And I had that since I was 18 years old, and it completely went south. So now I have a slip disc above the fusion and a slip disc in my lower back. So this was something like, this whole bodybuilding thing was something that I wanted to always do, but it was going to be a very, very difficult process. And especially with my anxiety standing on stage in front of everyone, that was like something in a bikini that I didn't want to do. But I had a lot of support. We were living in Texas at the time, and I had a lot of friends and a lot of support pushing me to do it. During that time, Drew had actually done a show. And then I could have stepped on stage then, didn't want to. Long story short, we get to Florida, and I just like said, screw it, this year I'm going to just do it and see what happens. And let me tell you, it was one really, really difficult process. Mainly just the pain, not so much dieting and all that. It was all about the pain. But then, and anxiety, of course, but I got on stage and I almost felt like I was supposed to be there. It was almost like God took away all that fear, all the anxiety. And I had put myself in 4 different categories. So I didn't just step on stage that first time. I would go around the stage and then call my name again, and I get another chance to do, on stage presence. So it was like I got 4 different times that I was on stage. So I just got better and better. And then I ended up just getting like really good. I got like first place in a few of the categories that I signed up for. And
what are the categories, if I can ask?
So I did masters 30, that's 35 and over. I think it's 35 to 40,
35 and up, and then it divides again at 40 and up, and then 45 and up. So it goes in 5-year increments for the masters division, but it starts at 35 is where masters begins.
I did I did true novice. True novice is the girls that's their very first time on stage. So I placed first in that. And then I did my open class, which would be my height class. And I placed first in that, which automatically nationally qualified me to do any type of like a pro show, and I could become pro. So with that, I became nationally qualified in my first show ever.
Wow.
So that
congratulations.
was that I did that. I didn't even know what I did until like off stage, and my husband's like, do you even know what you just did? Like, honestly, it went so fast. I don't even know. What did I place? I was like, I have no idea. So
it's like you just get caught up in the moment of things happening, and you just kind of like your brain puts you in autopilot, right? Like you just kind of, and then bright lights are hitting you. And I mean, I haven't competed or whatever, but I have been on stage. And so I kind of know what that feels like. You know, I've had to do public speaking and different things like that before. And yeah, it's the first time I ever did like a public speaking thing for a nonprofit organization I was working with. I was in front of a bunch of people. There's all these bright lights, and I just said some stuff. And people came up to me and they're like, "Hey, you did a really good job, man. You really commanded the crowd well." And I was like, "Did I?" I thought I didn't know if I just stood up there and I was just like, blah, 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 you know, like an old Looney Tunes character. But yeah, I get it.
I was dripping sweat. I was like the only one back there like dripping sweat. I swear I sweat like a guy. But I went out there, and it's so funny because there was a wellness girl, and that's like a more of a thicker, they like the big booty, big legs girls. Yeah. So one of them is she did really, really well. She had messaged me afterwards and told me that how she remembered me is my stage presence and how like confident I was on stage. And I was like, girl, I have no clue what you're talking about. I was like, I was so scared out of my mind. But that's what she saw. And I was like, I cannot believe that she saw that, because I did not feel like I was confident at all. I was so nervous. But it was nice to hear that from her.
Yeah, I can imagine. I don't know if this is going to sound cliche to say, but like seeing like the pictures of you posting when you're doing your training and stuff, you look like you're built for it. Like Drew too. Like you guys just look like, I don't know if that's even a thing. It's probably not a thing, but like it just looks like you just belong there. Like doing that kind of stuff.
It definitely is. Genetics have a lot to do with it. How the body is shaped. Ashley's gifted in a couple different areas that some girls have problems. Her shoulders, her muscle and skeletal structure up top is a little bit wider, which is fine for the category that she's competing in. So for her, you know, she doesn't have to work as much on her shoulders as somebody else that has a little bit smaller frame would have to put. You know, she already has the wide skeletal structure, so she can just put a little bit of muscle on and be fine with that. Some girls really have to work their shoulders a lot to get that, you know, that V taper, you know, from the shoulder down to the waistline. So,
and I'm short, and I have like a long torso and longer legs than what a normal like shorter girl would.
Do you guys know about the somotypes and bodies? Do you think you're like more mesomorphic?
Yeah, we've looked into that, and it's definitely with her. She's definitely that body structure. Her metabolism is super fast. I mean, it used to be, you know, a few years back that for the bikini division, there used to be a joke about how the girls never ate. You know, they would, you know, quote unquote starve themselves. You know, most of them weren't doing that.
Well, back in the day, that's what they liked. Actually, it was the skinny girls.
Yeah, skinny, the beach body look. Yeah. Nowadays, they want a little bit more muscle on them. So she's constantly eating. I mean, I am constantly feeding her, you know, not only a good high protein diet, but I mean, she's got a lot of carbs that we throw in there. Yes. A lot of healthy fats. So she eats
like I'm starving all the time now because I'm so used to eating so much that as soon as I get up, like I used to not even eat breakfast, but now it's like, I'm so hungry in the mornings because my body's so used to taking like all those carbs, all that protein. And it's just like a daily, like, I don't know, hunger for me all the time. Like,
I can imagine. You got to feed those muscles. Drew, deviating to you real quick. I remember the last episode she's talking about when you guys first met, and she met you at church, and she said you were really long and lanky and skinny, and you weren't all beefy. When you got into it, like, how did you? What did you do to get like thicken up? You just ate more, you just started lifting weight, or like how did that work for you specifically?
A lot of it, I mean, it's not it sounds cliche, but when people say 80% of it is your diet, but it really is 80 to 90% of it really is your diet. So when she first met me, I think I was like 185, 190 pounds. I remember struggling
how tall are you, Drew?
6'6" at that time. I'm about 6'5" and a half ish. 6'5", 6'5" and a half.
Yeah, that's light, man.
I was right around that 6'5" and a half, 6'6" range when I was younger. So yeah, I was really long, lanky. You know, I had an athletic body because I always competed in athletics, but I was not like muscular. Nobody would look at me and say I was muscular. So a lot of it has to do with the diet, though.
Yeah, I weigh that now, and I'm just 5'11", so you're like much taller than me. So man, I could imagine.
I mean, 5, 6, 7,000 calories in a day was not out of the ordinary for me when I was really trying to put on a lot of weight. And I did that for a little while. You know, I've done different types of dieting, and you know, I've tried all kinds of stuff, but now I just I don't quote unquote bulk. I guess a lot of people in the, you know, in the fitness industry would say bulk, or you're either bulking or cutting. I don't really bulk anymore. I just kind of gain. I maintain the muscle I have and slowly keep putting good muscle on. I don't like to get puffy and you know, I like to have abs all year round.
Same here. It's you're building like lean mass. It takes a lot longer, but I feel like it's, you know, it's more aesthetically pleasing. You feel better about it. With me saying that though, like if I ever had a dirty bulk, which I haven't competed or done any of that stuff, I love food. I'm a glutton, but luckily like there's a lot of ectomorph on this guy. So like I can eat like crazy, terrible things for me, and you know my metabolism just burns it all off. Especially if I'm working out or training. You know,
she used to get mad at me for that. We've kind of corrected her metabolism, so her metabolism is super fast now. But when we first started doing this, and I decided to do a show, and she was kind of prepping with me. I mean, she would eat the same foods I would. You know, obviously different increments, but yeah, she was, you know, she would always get mad at me. She's like, you can eat whatever you want and just not, you know, it just goes on right. You know, you don't have to worry about gain fat and all this and that. And now it's like the other way around. Now I'm trying to burn fat off, and her metabolism's super high. So, but
wow.
Yeah, but you do eat a lot.
I eat a lot.
But you're a big guy. You've got to eat more, right? You're tall, you're big. So
yeah, I'm 6'5" and 245 pounds. So I put a lot of food back.
And he's addicted to malts, like ice cream malts. He has one every night.
I wish you were here right now. I'd give you a high five. I love, like, my guilty pleasure. Like, I'm French, right? So my dad had a conversation with me. He's like, son, we love pastries and cream and milk stuff right here, man. All that just that dairy, just give it to me. You know, ice cream, malts, shakes. Oh, it's terrible, but it's good.
That's my weakness.
Right. Yeah. Same here. Ashley, so when is your next competition coming up? When is that going to happen? So you might have already said this.
I think I counted down. I have like 21 days till my next competition. It's going to be in Miami.
Oh, cool.
So it's a little change of atmosphere because I've never been over there for sure. So
do you feel like going into this next one, you have a lot more confidence than you did before because now you've already kind of cut your teeth on what you're doing, and so you feel like more?
I feel like I have a lot more confidence, and it's funny because I'm like already at my stage weight. I'm not even meaning to be, but I'm already at my stage weight. So I feel like my body wise is, I mean, I'm going to come in totally different than last time. Like not totally different, I guess. I definitely going to come in a lot leaner. And then now I know what to work on. So like after your competition, you can go over to the judges and ask, hey, what did you guys think? Like, is there something I need to work on or whatever? And it's nice to get that feedback because then you know what to work on for the next show. And it was mostly about like, for bikini, it's all about the glutes and hamstring tie-in. That's the break in between, you know, the glutes and the hammies, and then your shoulder cap. So like they want the nice round shoulders for the girls. And then they want you, of course, as lean as possible. So I know I need to really work on my legs and glutes for sure. And I know where to go from there. So it's a lot. It should be a lot easier than last time. That's for sure.
Yeah, I can imagine. So tell me what you're eating right now. What's your diet consist of? What does it look like day to day?
Well,
What you got
Drew
going
can
on?
kind of talk about that. So this is my pretty much my coach and nutritionist.
And your chef?
So he will
pretty much,
he is my chef.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for him, I would probably have a lot of trouble eating because I get full so so fast.
Mm-hmm.
But he keeps me going. So what do you have me on right now exactly for like how much protein and
so we so for her diet, like I don't do the standard. I mean, we do the standard quote unquote bodybuilders, what you all think bodybuilders eat. So it's, chicken, rice, turkey, burger, fish. We do that, but we only do that, that strict of a diet for the last few weeks leading into a show. So, I mean, normally her diet, she does have some sort of protein with every meal, some sort of carb choice with every meal, and then some sort of healthy fat in every meal. But we also do a lot of vegetables, a lot of green vegetables, fruit, veggies. I don't cut bread out, and until we get closer. The way bread processes in your body, you just got to kind of watch it. So, but I don't really cut bread out of her diet. She gets to eat the things she enjoys, and a lot of it is macro dieting. So you hit a certain amount of calories per day, but you make sure that you're hitting your protein, carb, and fat intake. Mm-hmm. So you can kind of work some of the stuff that you like already into your diet, just in moderation, along with, your typical fish, rice, chicken, that sort of thing.
It's all science. Like, I mean, he knows exactly what my body's going to do. If he feeds me something, he knows exactly what's going to happen after he does so. Cause I think we've messed around with that so much. That now know like exactly when I need my carbs, when I need my protein, like how much protein I need that day. So,
and it'll help. It helps me out too. I've never coached anybody, and men's bodies are a lot different than women's bodies. We have testosterone that drives our whole being. So our bodies do things a lot different than women's bodies do. But especially with her in bikini, they want her lean, but not too lean. They don't want her showing too much, abs or, whatever. They want that beach body look. But the science behind the dieting is, it's easier for me now going into this next show, just because she prepped with me a while back. Like why I even said that I would help her, instead of just going out and getting a coach right away, is because she actually prepped with me when I did my show. So I kind of already knew what she was going to look like and what she needed to eat, because we had already done this before. I was trying to get her to step on stage with me.
Except for I was like way more.
That was when you were in Texas, right?
Yeah.
What you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was 3 or 4 years ago.
I probably would have competed in either not wellness, probably figure. And that is like kind of one up from me. It's like more muscular. And I was a lot thicker than like bulkier, I should say, not thicker, but bulkier. Mm-hmm. So I would have like competed in a whole different category. Yeah. But yeah, you had me like, I was exactly like, that's probably why I was so bulky, is because I was pretty much eating what he was eating. Yeah. So,
but at that point in time, we were trying to do that for a purpose, because we were trying to put a little bit of size on her. So
yeah,
we were doing it for a purpose. Now she's so lean. It's kind of cool because, people struggle as far as dieting and stuff. They struggle because I always tell people stay off of a scale, because I feel like, the people that I've helped out and the people I've gave tips to, I feel like a scale is discouraging to most people.
It is.
Because they step on the scale and they're like, oh, I didn't drop 2 or 3 pounds this week, or I didn't do this or whatever.
Which muscle weighs more than fat. So you don't know if that's muscle, it's fat, or it's water weight, whatever it is. So it discourages them. And
so I always tell people, look in the mirror, every week, take a progress picture, or every however many days you want to. Now she's so lean to the point where, especially going into this next show, I know what to feed her and what she's going to wake up and look like the next morning. Mm-hmm. So it's a timing thing with the carbs and stuff that you have to do the last couple of weeks. But her body, sweet potatoes are her best friend. Sweet potatoes, her body will literally just soak it up. You can literally see her muscles within 2 hours expand, not even 2 hours, sometimes faster than that. But her muscles will just start expanding. You can start seeing, details come out where they need to come out and stuff. So, but it's fun for me because if I could just sit at home on the couch and just eat the right stuff and not ever go to the gym and look great, that's the type of person I am.
Same here, bro.
I don't want to put in the work in the gym. I like it. I love it. I love lifting. It's a good stress reliever. But if I could just stay at home and do the science and just look great all the time, I like that side of things. I like the nutrition and the science behind things. Even
it's very interesting.
Yeah, even vitamins that you add in or take out during certain points in time, how your body responds to that kind of stuff. So, I mean, there's a little science behind it. That's kind of.
Yeah, I almost started going to school for nutrition science to be a dietitian and stuff. I ended up not getting an opportunity to do that, and I kind of I don't know, bowed out from that. But yeah, it's food science has always fascinated me since I was like a teenager, right? Like I remember like hanging out with all like my teenage guy friends, you know, like going to shows and skateboarding and all that. And they're like, "Hey man, we're going out to go skate, or we're going to this punk rock show. You coming?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, let me finish this book." And I was reading like, I don't know, some book about like nutrient timing or something. And like, I remember my buddy Jason like grabbing my book out of my hand. He's like, "Dude, what is this crap? Like, what is this? What are you doing, man? Let's go skate." And I was like, "Oh, okay." It's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating what food does to the body and how it can change it. Absolutely. But I'm right there with you, Drew. Like I'm like one of the laziest disciplined people ever, right? Like there's a lot of time, probably like 60% of the time, probably more than that. I'm just being generous to myself right now. I don't want to go to the gym, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to do this. I don't feel like it." And then I just force myself to do it. Yeah. But yeah, if I could get away with doing that, yeah, man, I just sit there, just shovel it in
all day. I'm like all day.
But then after you go to the gym, you're looking in the mirror and you're like, "Dang, I'm glad I went to the gym. Like I look great." I already see a difference.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
What body fat percentage are you sitting at right now, Ashley? Do you know?
Ooh, I bet you I'm at like a.
I would probably say low. I was gonna say we haven't really checked that, like with calipers or anything. But if I could guess, I would probably say somewhere in the low teens.
Yeah.
Maybe not even. Yeah, probably.
I'm pretty freaking lean.
Probably
right
low
now.
teens, maybe closer to the 10% range.
Yeah.
But that's a good question. You know, that's something that I need to be doing actually to see, you know, what we need to be at for future shows. So
okay. Well, you were welcome, sir.
I do measurements. I like to do we always do the hip measurement, the waist measurement, the glute measurement, you know, just to kind of see the proportions and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So I do a lot of measurements, but that's the body fat percentage would be a good thing. Maybe we need to hit up Right Aesthetics and see if they have a machine.
Yeah, they might. Plug in Right Aesthetics. If you're watching this, Jeff or Elvira, good. Yep. Check it out. But so let me ask this question to you guys. What is it that appeals to you guys about bodybuilding and this fitness thing? Like what is the main driving force for why you want to do it? Is it because of aesthetics? You just want to look good? Is it because of strength? You want to be stronger? I mean, like, is it more emotional? Is it more psychological? For questions for both of you.
So for me, it would be a lot of things actually. So my anxiety, I want to overcome my fear. I love the way I feel about myself. I love the way I look. I'm 35 and I've felt the best I've ever felt in forever. So it's a lot of mind stuff. Like, I mean, it like when I go to the gym, I feel like if I'm a better person and I feel like good about myself, I can bring that positive energy back into my family's life too. So if I don't love myself, I feel like I won't, it's hard to love others before if you don't love yourself, it's hard to like show the love for others too. And so, just having that, I don't know, just having that feeling about myself. And I think I hold myself at a higher standard now. Like I was very down on myself. And then I love just working out. It's just my thing. It's my hobby. It's just, I was there 3 hours yesterday. Sounds crazy, but I did a lot of stuff in 3 hours, but I like also posed and I was doing my posing routines and such, but I enjoy the gym. Like it's an everyday thing for me. If I don't go, I don't feel good about not so much don't feel good about myself, but I feel like I didn't win the day. It's all about winning the day, I guess. That was something that actually our pastor had told us that I've always remembered. And that was a few years back, is just winning the day and like just to be able to accomplish that day and then just moving on from there. And yeah, so that's been a lot for me. I love everything that it's just how it's just made me feel all around. So I really enjoy it. I really do. And then I like to, I want my daughter to see me doing that also and seeing that she can accomplish anything no matter what comes in her way. And then, yeah, I want to be a better wife too. So it makes me a better wife too, because I know I'm not as cranky as I used to be. So, yeah.
All right, Drew, same question.
Yeah, I think I started the whole thing when I've always been interested in bodybuilding and always wanted to be big. I remember looking at, the Flex books back in the day when I was younger, 17, 18 years old in high school. I had a coach a weightlifting coach. He was our football coach, Coach DuBois. But he actually had a big impact in my life because he's actually the first person that got me in the weight room. And that was when I was 15, 17 range, somewhere in there. So that's when I actually started, actually wanting to, lift and stuff. As I grew up and got older, I think the main thing that drove me in the beginning was to look good. I wanted to be a big guy. I wanted to look muscular or whatever, at that time I was trying to accomplish. And then as it evolved, I think it just kind of evolved into something that, not only do I want to look good, but I want to feel good, so I want to feel healthy. I want to, especially as I get older, I want to prolong my life as long as I can. So what better way to do it than, eating healthy and just living an overall healthy lifestyle. So I think that's kind of what drives me now, is just to be healthy and in shape and look good at 34 years old. That might not be old to some people, but I started feeling it, as I got over my 30 hump. So, but yeah, just feeling good, looking good. And then I think it helps our relationship out. It's something that we enjoy together. A lot of days we go to the gym together. We might not work out together when we're in there, because sometimes our training styles are different.
We like our headphones too.
Yeah.
So we're kind of like in our own little la la land.
Get in our own little world. We go in there, we release some stress. It's setting a good example for our daughter. She's an athlete as well. She does the volleyball and basketball thing. So just setting a healthy example for her and, what she's eating as well. So.
And it sure helps to be in Florida, because like being in Florida, it's like bikini season all year round, like it's beach season. So it's like, I don't know, it gives you a reason to go outside. It's so beautiful out all the time. So, I do a lot of rollerblading. In fact, I just started like doing that again. So that's a lot of fun.
What would you all say to like detractors? Because they exist out there, and lots of them, more than I feel comfortable with. But people that are like, oh, people that do this, they're just they're a bunch of like stuck up assholes. They think they're better than everybody. Like, oh, look at me, I think I'm so good looking, and they're nobodies and stuff. What would you guys say to to people that feel that way about people that bodybuild and like it's just this vanity and it's just this thing that people do because they want to look better and be better than other people? What would you say to that?
Well, for one, most people that say those types of things aren't happy with themselves. So I think that they maybe need to kind of look back at themselves and decide on what they actually want in life. And I don't know, with the whole, like, I don't know, like I'm not saying that all of them feel like, maybe hard on themselves or whatever, but maybe they have their own like goals that they just haven't accomplished yet or want to accomplish. And they just, I don't know, maybe they feel negatively about themselves, but we're always here to help anyone that needs any type of questions. We've always been very open with that. Anybody can message us at any time, just with any type of question they have with, if it comes with, nutrition and dieting and lifestyle changing is what we usually call it, not dieting, lifestyle change. And workouts or anything like that. Like we love to help people as much as we can.
I think it's a big misconception as far as like bodybuilders and having a big head about themselves and stuff. So a lot of bodybuilders and a lot of fitness people, even fitness models, men, women, it doesn't matter. I will tell you this, and I can guarantee I can speak for 98% of the fitness community that we are more self-conscious about ourselves, not self-conscious, but more picky about our physiques than anybody that's 300 pounds, 400 pounds, whatever you want to say, just because
we're competing for one.
We're trying to build something for a purpose. And, it might sound weird to some people to live like that, but I don't know. I mean, if you do it healthy and you're really keeping the right mindset about why you're doing it, I mean, I think it could be a good thing for people. I'm not saying that everybody has to compete or everybody has to be super shredded or anything like that, but just being healthy and being in your shape, I think that's important. But it is a misconception that we're all, we all walk around with a big head, and we might act like we're confident and we might be confident during certain times, but we are literally the most picky people about our physique that you could even imagine.
Yeah.
So
yeah, my assessment of it is that people that do like thumb their nose at it, they probably, a lot of them probably have a lot of insecurities, and they're projecting that upon somebody else who, they're like, oh, they deep down inside like, oh, I wish I could be that or do that or look like that or whatever. With that being said, though, I feel like though also with bodybuilding and shaping yourself up and looking good, there is a degree of vanity that comes to that, right? Because I mean, you're constantly having to look at yourself in the mirror and like, check your body and do all these things. And I feel like if you don't put yourself in check, it is something that can take like. I knew that a friend of mine, her name's I won't give her name out just for personal, but she was legitimately in bodybuilding for years. She won like multiple like junior competitions and something else I'm not completely certain on. I think she did powerlifting too at one point. And she was explaining it to me like this. She was like, yeah, at first I felt like kind of like a loser and all this stuff. And then I started putting muscle on, and then I started looking really good. And then I took these like photos, these nude pics and stuff where I just was so wow, look at my body. And she was like, I started feeling like I was becoming this weird gaudy thing. She was like, because there is a great degree of vanity to what it is you're doing. She was like, it's just like with money, right? Like everybody that gets a lot of money isn't necessarily going to be a bad person, but sometimes it's much easier to go down that path just because you have more. And in the same sense, I feel like, once you start looking, like if you were that girl that wasn't very attractive in school, no guy wanted to ask you out, but now you have this just body of a goddess, and now all the guys are falling over you. Sometimes it could be a trap. And that's kind of how I look at it when it comes to that. Yeah, but that is at the end of the day, I think it's, for me anyway, personally, my own opinion, and I can't speak for everybody else, is that I think it builds discipline for the person. And it also teaches the person that you can develop into something better about yourself through struggle. Like struggle is good, like struggling to build yourself up in life. And that's a metaphor. Like you can use that with anything. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
So,
and there's a lot of we have to compare ourselves to a lot of other, like there's no way around it really, because you want to win. So you're constantly comparing yourself to other fitness competitors.
Yeah.
And so that's another hard one, especially for women. I mean, we see already these Instagram models and Facebook models and all these beautiful women, and we're always comparing ourselves to each other also. So on top of that, being a competitor, you're having to compare yourself to whoever won that, that one competition that you got second in. So here I am trying to, be better than that person. And so that's it's just another struggle, but it's, to me, it's well worth it in the end, just because I love it so much. So.
And the other thing about it is that a lot of people don't grasp the concept of is it's a sport. I competed in sports my whole life. I picked up a basketball when I was like 2 or 3. When I could walk, I had a basketball in my hand. Mm-hmm. So I literally grew up playing sports. As I got older and I had some injuries, I can't get on the basketball court like I used to. I can't dunk like I used to. I can still dunk on a good day, on a really good day.
On your tippy toes, I'm sure.
But I can't do the things I used to. But this fitness has actually given me a different way to be competitive. I'm always trying. I'm the type of person that I might get lazy sometimes, like everybody does, but I'm always trying to better myself in some sort of way. no matter what way that is, you know, some sort of way I'm trying to better myself. So me staying competitive, I feel like if you keep that motivation and that competitiveness, it'll drag over into other aspects of your life. So I'm not saying everybody has to do bodybuilding or fitness, but if you stay competitive in something, I feel like that competitiveness actually drags over into other aspects.
It drives.
So it is a sport, and it's fun, and it's, you know,
it gives somebody something to be confident about, and there's nothing wrong with confidence. Confidence is not arrogance. Arrogance and confidence are not they're not synonymous of each other.
Yeah. I'm not saying you won't have those people, because there's those people, you know,
I've met them.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we've all met some, and I have met pro athletes that are in the bodybuilding community that I probably wouldn't, you know, go drink a beer with on the weekend or anything. You know, they might have some things, you know, going on with them that I just wouldn't rather not be around. But so there is going to be some that you're just like, ooh, I don't know. But for the overall regular gym goer, fitness person, you know, or competitor that wants to step on stage, a lot of them do it because they want to accomplish something. And I knew her from her competitive spirit and nature. She's a lot like me in that way. And I knew once she got on stage and did it once, she was going to want to continue to do it. I've wanted to do another one since I did my first show back in 2016. I just haven't had the motivation or drive to actually get up and do it. But I knew that she would like it. And I knew, you know, it's just something to keep us sharp and keep us, you know, competitive. You know?
Yeah, I gotcha. Ashley, do you have a ultimate goal for what you're doing right now in your sport? Do you have like an ultimate end goal to where you're like, that's it, that's the summit right there?
I want to be pro and like on the least amount of shows as I can do. Literally, there's a lot of women out there that like they've competed like 20 something times or whatever, and still haven't gotten their pro card, which is it's actually not that, you know, it's not uncommon. But I want to literally, I wish I could become pro within like less than 5 shows. That would be the crazy overall, like that would be the dream of all dreams for me. Really. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I feel like it's super cheesy to say, but whatever. I'll say it till like the trumpet sounds. Whatever it is, like, if that's what you want, then go get it. Right? It's there. Just go grab it. Yeah. Like, you know, whatever. Sky's the limit. I say this all the time. It feels so cheesy, but this is what my show's about, right? It's about building inspiration to people and hearing about their struggles, which helps make them more of a more enlightened, more incredible, more strong human being. That's very important. Deviating from the topic of, I literally could talk about fitness and bodybuilding with you guys all show, but there's some of our followers and stuff are going to want a little bit something else. The last time we were on the show, you guys were in contention with trying to have another child, and you were looking into the gestational carrier stuff. What's an update on that? Because I know a lot of people, especially here, that have watched your show, friends of mine, other people in my community have asked. They're probably going to wonder, so I got to make sure I ask about this. What's going on with that?
That was kind of like we were in it, and then this whole bodybuilding type thing went on to where I wanted to just start competing because I wasn't planning on stepping up on stage anytime soon. I was just like working out and such. But since I've done that, I think our goal is mostly like I want to just kind of focus on that right now, because that's what's making me, I'm telling you, it's working so much with my anxiety. It's making me better with that. And then my whole thing is I just want to prove to people that, you know, no matter what type of I have so much pain every day. I deal with it every day. I wake up with pain. I deal with it during the day. I, you know, come home, I lay on ice. It's just a constant thing that no matter what, you know, comes in your way, that you're able to accomplish whatever your mind takes you to, like whatever goal you have set, you can do it no matter what. And that was my whole, I just wanted, I don't know, that's just really it's not just about bodybuilding for me. It's about just showing that you can overcome any obstacle that's in your way. And so I kind of drifted off towards that, more bodybuilding, stuff. And then we kind of just left that out, kind of forgot to take care of in his time. Did.
I mean, we checked out a lot of different avenues, and we were thinking about doing a lot of different things. And then I don't know, I life just took us in kind of a different direction for the time.
Yes.
You know, I don't know what the future has to hold. You know, I go to church every Sunday and, you know, read my Bible as much as I can. So I just trust that God has a plan for us. So if he wants to put that in our life again, or, you know, have that, then that's fine. And if not, then we're fine with that too, because we have a daughter already that we love dearly. She's going to be a freshman in high school next year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the baby thing is
we're
just
still
kind of
open
like,
to adoption.
Yeah.
We're
So we've still
open to
talked
that,
about doing the adoption thing. We're definitely still open to that. So, I mean, even though our life has taken a detour, that doesn't mean that some of our things that we wanted to do in the past haven't came along with us. So we still talk about the whole adoption thing. We're actually just trying to find the right timing.
I gotcha.
Just to make sure that everything's in place. But yeah, I mean, I still think it's a possibility.
Talking about like adopting a baby at first, but now we're talking about maybe adopting like an older child.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of hard right now because we already have a teenager. So if we were to adopt, you know, you kind of have to watch with that because already having a teenager in the home, I definitely wouldn't be adopting like a teenage boy or anything like that. So we have to kind of watch with that. It'd be kind of nice if like Erin kind of got out of the house and then we had another like 13-year-old and then
get her out of there.
However we can do this, but I don't know if we'll ever like maybe. I think we're kind of away from the whole maybe the baby thing because I think we've
just looked into it so much, and I think I've got probably the soft, like I'm such a softie when it comes to certain things, and I guess kids is one of those things I'm really soft with. And you know, I love having all of Arian's friends over, and our door is like a
revolving
old-time saloon door. You know, that thing flies back and forth like you wouldn't believe. But you know, you see all these kids that are in the foster system, and a baby would be great, but at the same time, it's like the older these kids get, the harder it is for them to find homes.
Yes.
And so I've really prayed about that a lot and stuff. And I honestly think that if we end up taking that step, I think that we'll end up, you know, probably the 5 to 10 range ish is probably what we would do as far as adoption. But yeah, and I wouldn't mind having another girl. I really wouldn't. I like having my 2 girls that I have now.
He spoils the crap out of Arian's friends.
I like spoiling my girls.
So.
Yeah. Arian's friends come over, they get spoiled too. They're like daughters, you know, when they're here. So
yeah.
I wouldn't mind having another girl or, you know, whatever God puts in our life.
Yeah.
But right now we're just going to keep bettering ourselves, and whatever his plan has and, you know, in place, it's going to come to fruition. So
yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's awesome. Sometimes, you know, you take different paths in life, or like you were saying, you know, sometimes like you're like on this journey and you detour for a minute, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm just going to hang out here, and then you can get back on that road.
But we feel so good right now. I don't think.
I think the ultimate point of it is that as long that's what you guys are doing in your lives, and you're happy and you're accepting of that stuff. That's all that matters, right? It's not like so. Well, good. That's really good. So, all right, we're gonna get to the deeper part. There's some other things I told you about those bullet points, right? I was like, it might not go down that way, but that's what's beautiful about a conversation. It just it evolves in its own way, and however I'm actually not going to ask specifically what you guys are wrestling with. I'm going to kind of change this up a little bit. I'll have some of my followers like, oh, what? But that's the point of the show. That's the point of the show, the Wrestling Diaries. But I'll start with you, Drew. This is a yeah, man. That's what I got to do. I got to do it, Thor. Come on, man.
Keep going to him.
I was going to say earlier too, you're playing basketball, and I was like, oh man, do you think you're not tall enough for basketball though, are you?
Shoot, you wouldn't think so.
So this is a new question I've been asking people, and I've gotten a really great response from it. People are like, man, I never thought about that. It's pretty cool. But Drew, if we had right now, he's this tech genius. I keep telling this every episode. I know it's cheesy, people, but I'm still going to do it. It's how I like to have my fun. Matt's building this telephone time machine, right? Where you can call anybody from the past. And you call yourself a point of your life that you remember in the past where you felt like, you know, things were, I don't know, maybe you were confused or you're at your lowest point in life, whatever point that it could have been 20 years ago, or it could have been 20 days ago. You call yourself, whatever date, whatever time, and you talk to Drew back then. What do you say to him about his life going forward and about now? How's that conversation go, sir?
Yeah, you did really change it up, didn't you? This is a
yeah. Yeah, I like to do it, man.
You know, I'm one of those persons that I really don't like to say that I would change anything, you know, like go back and change things because I feel like everything happens and it all sets you up for where you're at now. So if you go back in time and you change one thing, who knows what else is going to be thrown off. But I guess if I could stay on the same path that and still end up where I'm at today, because I don't mind where I'm at today at all, I would probably tell myself to be more motivated with certain aspects of life and stay on track. There's a lot of, I guess I'm one of these people that I'll branch off and do something for a little while, and then I'll branch off and do something else for a little while. And then, you know, I guess I'm never content. So I guess staying on one solid track and being a little bit more motivated, I don't know. I'd probably call back to when I was like 15 or 16. I would say that. That's a good age. You got a little bit of a brain, but you know, still young.
Okay. Now moving forward off of that question, what kind of legacy, sir, do you want to leave behind for yourself? One day when they're writing songs about you, poems, and someone's talking about you, what do they say about Drew? What do you leave back on this world? What stamp do you have here?
You know, hopefully when I pass away, you know, hopefully people look at me that, hey, he was a good guy. He had a good heart. He liked to help people. He wasn't selfish. You know, I like to think those things about myself that I, you know, hopefully other people see in me. But yeah, hopefully people will just say that I was a good person, God-driven, you know, fearless when it comes to faith, that type of thing. That would be my end goal.
Excellent. I got to tell you this, man. You are one of the most sweetest, softest, dangerous looking people I've ever seen. Like I've never met you. I've never shook your hand or gave you a hug, but like I feel like you look very physically imposing, but you're just a teddy bear.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody looks at me and they're like, "Oh, this guy." You know. I have so many people that will look at me in the gym and stuff, and you know they want to talk and conversate, but then they won't, and I'm like, "Hey, man, I'm just here to talk to whoever."
Yeah.
Like,
He's such a softie.
I love that about you, bro.
He's such a softie.
I absolutely love that about you. Ashley, telephone time machine. Past Ashley. You call her. Ding, ding, ding. Ashley, this is you from the future. I gotta say, what do you say?
Let's say I would probably tell my 18-year-old self, because that was probably like the worst time of my life, from 16 to 18, that, I mean, things are always going to, I mean, it just seemed like my life was ending at that time. I felt like the whole world was against me. I had a lot of things happen to me in high school to where I had to move different high schools because of it. But I would tell myself that things are always going to get better, that just not to dwell on every little thing. I literally thought my life was ending, I swear. I think every like teenager feels like that at some point in time, that things just aren't going to get better. And I don't know, like that's pretty much what I would tell myself, is just to move on and have a lot more faith in God. That's for sure. Yeah. So
great. All right. Like I asked Drew before, what's your legacy? What do you leave behind? What songs do they sing about you in the future? What is Ashley Yocum remembered as?
Well, I'll tell you, I've always felt like a lot of people come to me with their problems. I've always felt like I was a really good listener.
Everybody comes
to me. Like,
people that don't even know this girl will literally walk up to her and pour their whole life story out in 30 minutes.
First time they meet me.
First time they meet her.
Yes. So that's one of the things, like, I hope that I've helped so many people. I mean, I've put an impact on everyone's lives. So who's ever spoken to me, I hope that I've done put some type of positive impact on their lives. And I feel like a lot of women actually come to me, and I feel like they're comfortable with me. And so, yeah, I hope that, people look at me as like, just like, again, like kind of what you said, a kind-hearted person that was just out to help everyone else. And I don't know, just loved everyone. Like, I try my best to just kind of fit in anywhere I can. And to give, like, I just try to, with the whole training thing, even, it's not just about working out. It's not always about like losing the weight. You actually become almost a counselor for that person within that hour. So you want to build that relationship with your clients. You're not going to just stand there and do the workouts. I want to have open ears, open mind, open heart, so that they can just tell me all their struggles. And I somehow, in some way, try to find a way to help them as much as I can. So I hope that, people see me as that person. Definitely.
Amen and amen. Yeah. Excellent. This was an excellent show. I hope you guys had fun. It was really great seeing you all again and talking with you.
We always have fun on your show. You can have us back anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like, obviously, there's so much distance between us, but you guys remind me, like, I have like really good friends that are neighbors, and like the energy that I get from you is just very similar. It's like I just kind of know you and just kind of hang out. Hey, let's grab some lunch or something. It's just, I love that. I love that connection. I'm at some point, I'm supposed to be visiting again, Jeff and Elvira and stuff. So it'd be great to like link up with you guys.
Absolutely, we would definitely be down for that.
Go have a drink or hang out, something. Go surf.
Water for now, but yeah, I'll definitely have a drink.
Oh right, well, yeah, whatever. We can have lemonade or water, whatever. It doesn't matter. Whatever you can have at the time. It doesn't matter. I don't have to like. I don't even have to have like a beer to have fun with somebody, right? I had fun doing this. I'm not drinking anything right now. One thing I love about you two also is like, you're very, I'm trying to put this in words that doesn't sound, and I don't think it's insulting, but you're very ordinary people. Like, and I mean that, like, you're just very, very down to earth, very ordinary, but you look and seem extraordinary.
Well,
that makes sense.
That's really sweet of you. Thank you.
And so like a lot of people I feel like would see you guys. You're both good looking and in great shape. And they'd be like, oh, this is how maybe they are. And then if they like met you, they'd be like, oh my God, they're so just very normal. You're like you're like the Keanu Reeves of Central Florida, right? Like he's this big millionaire, but he waits in line to get a hot dog, and he like helps people on the side of the road, and he doesn't use his celebrity status for anything. Yeah. You guys remind me of that.
If we were millionaires,
we've always said that.
Yeah, this is how we would be.
Yep.
I don't care if I have $1 in my bank account or if I have, $100 million in my bank account. Yeah. I'm not going to change who I am. I know it would change it does change people's mindset. Like we were talking earlier about certain things in life, but there's just a moral ground that I like to stay on. And, I wouldn't change that for anything, but I like the ordinary thing.
Yes,
that's what I tell her about. Gosh. That's what I tell her about everything that we're doing in the fitness industry and stuff. When she's posting on Instagram and social media and stuff, that's what I told her. I was like, I don't care what other people are doing or what they're saying or whatever, but what I want to accomplish is just being 100% real.
Yes.
So on Snapchat, Instagram, whatever, TikTok, we do TikTok. I just want everybody to be like, man, they're real. Like this is somebody that is a real person. Like they're not just all makeup and glammed up every time you see a photo or picture. I mean, we'll show her sweating her ass off in the gym.
I don't wear makeup at the gym
because we do when we work out. You sweat when you work out.
Yes.
Some people in the fitness industry, you see all these pictures, but you never see them working out or sweating. And you're like, is that like, who are they?
Yes.
I know. Right. Yeah. They're cardboard cutouts. That's who they are.
Yeah.
You guys are lovely. I'm going to let y'all, if you want to plug in anything, Ashley, obviously you got a lot of stuff going on. If you want to plug in to how people can either do what you're doing or see what you're doing, or guys can plug in your social medias, just whatever you'd like. Go ahead. Plug in.
Well, if you want to start following me, I have a lot of good workouts and stuff that if you're interested in any type of fitness or any type of like even nutrition or whatever, you can always reach out to us too. But yeah, I have an Instagram. It's Ashley Nicole. So it's actually ASH and then SLAYNICOLE. So Ashley Nicole is my Instagram, and you can message me on there, or you can also find me on Facebook, just Ashley Yocum. And then same goes with Drew.
Yeah, my Instagram is what is it now? Drew Allen, DREWALLEN 32, all together. And you can reach out to us at any point in time. We started doing more with social media lately, so on our Instagram and Facebook stories and stuff, I've been trying to post not only like, you know, her workouts and stuff that we've been doing, but some things of what she's eating that day or what I'm eating that day.
Yes.
Grocery shopping trips that we go on,
Yes.
family stuff, our bird, our dogs. We post all kinds of stuff.
We also are doing online trainings and coaching too. So
yes,
if
and
you're
we have started to do
interested in
that. Yeah, we have started to do
just reach
that.
out.
So if anybody needs any help or they just want somebody to talk to.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Nice. You guys are lovely. I love you guys. I don't even know you. Love you guys to death. You're awesome. Thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is another episode of the Wrestling Diaries. Hope you enjoyed this. Check us out on YouTube for the video content. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell for more content. Our audio podcast streams, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Also, check Anchor out. It's a really great place to start off. If you are looking to do what I do or what other people are doing, you want to do a podcast, you got something to talk about, you got a subject, whatever it is, you can do this. Anybody can do this. Just try anchor.fm.com. It's really great. They sponsor me for these audio streams, so thank you, Anchor. I appreciate you. Check us out. This episode, there's not really a lot I could say. Ashley and Drew are just very. I feel like this is what you should try to strive for in life. This is just my opinion, of course, right? But like, be ordinary, but live extraordinary. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, whatever. I hope everybody enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed speaking with these people. They're really awesome. Check them out. If you want to get into this, follow Ashley or follow Drew, and maybe you can find out that like bodybuilding and stuff isn't just like this weird glam thing, but it's also a way to like just better yourself, just psychologically, just emotionally. I feel like there's a lot of that in there. What do you wrestle with, and how can you beat it? One love.